Okay, in this video, I'm going to take a very popular nap tutorial that I did years ago, and I'm going to convert it to a video format here because it was actually a pretty popular tutorial. A lot of people were really into it because a lot of people don't know that you can draw inside of Photoshop. So they think of it more as a painting tool, but there's a lot of ways that you can draw in Photoshop, and you don't even have to know how to draw certain objects. I'm going to show you how to take a reference photo and create the illustration that I have in front of you. So I'm going to take a photo of a dolphin and we'll create this. So I'm going to give a little disclaimer here, and we're going to use the pen tool, so I'm going to warn you up ahead of time. Now, a lot of people get scared of the pen tool, but I got to tell you, it's really not that bad. And once you start learning how to use it, I'm telling you, it's going to really make your life a lot easier because you'll be able to create any type of an object in Photoshop with the pen tool. So let's go ahead here and get started. First thing I'm going to do is I've got my dolphin photo open. I'm going to go over to the paths palette. And I've already got a couple paths in here. Let's just delete these because this was from while I was practicing for this. We're going to delete these paths and we're going to start from scratch. So we'll have no paths in here. We'll click the Create New Path button. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to select my pen tool, and I'm going to just lay down an anchor point near the fin here. Now notice I don't really see much of the fin, but I'm kind of just guessing at where it would be, and that's where the artistic ability comes in here. Just kind of imagine where things might go in this photo here. I know that there's a fin here even though it's all kind of dark, but just click add a point there. I'm going to click and add another point there and make it a little bit curved, and then I'll bring in part of the fin on this one. So essentially I've created a fin. Now I'm going to create another new path because I don't want to trace the entire outline in one shot. I want to do this in several shots. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and I'm going to create another path for the front of the dolphin and the nose here. Go around front. That'll be the next path. Click the Create New Path button, and now let's create one that goes all the way around the top front of the dolphin here. Whoops, let's zoom back out. Goes around the front of the dolphin here, and we'll create another new path here, and now I'll do the top fin, and maybe I'll just finish the dolphin off here. So I'm going to alt click, and if you see me, I alt click here, and that kind of creates a corner point that lets me take this path all the way down the bottom back of the dolphin here, and we'll create the fin all the way at the bottom. And there we go. So essentially what we've done here is we've created various paths that encompass the entire dolphin. Now what we want to do is we want to stroke these paths because we want them to have outlines like that image you saw in the beginning. So the way to do that, we're going to go to the Layers palette. I'm going to create a new layer. Now I'm going to fill this layer with white because I want to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to fill that new layer with white. Next, I'm going to create another new layer. I'm not going to do anything to it because I want that to be a blank layer. And I'm going to go over to my brush tool, and I'm going to select probably about a 5 pixel hard edge brush. It's the one all the way at the top. Then I'm going to choose Window Brushes. Now this is going to open up the brushes palette, the real brushes palette with all the options in it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to brush tip shape, and you're going to see some options in here. The one I'm really going to change is this angle and roundness setting. See, if I click here, I can move this around. I'm going to do that because I want to change this brush. I want to almost make it look like it's a calligraphic brush. So I'm going to bring these very close together. I'm going to move it around just so it's on its side. So it's almost going to create a calligraphic pen type of an effect for me. Then we can get rid of that brushes palette. Then let's go back to our layers palette, and you're going to click once, make sure this layer is targeted. Then we're going to go over to the paths palette. Now, here's the trick. See this button at the bottom? It's called Stroke Path with Brush. What this is saying is it's going to stroke the path that we have with the brush that we just created. So make sure that the brush tool is selected at this point. And you can also make sure your foreground color is the color you want to stroke it with. So I'm going to pick a blue color here. And then I'm going to click on the top path button here, and then we'll just click this little circle at the bottom, stroke path with brush, and watch what happens. It stroked the path with the brush, which is exactly what it says it's going to do. But that's how you draw inside of Photoshop, is you can create paths and then stroke them, almost like you can do in Illustrator. We'll do the same thing. Just click on that path, click the stroke button, click on that one, click the stroke button, and finally click on the bottom one and click on the stroke button. Now if I look at what I've created here, I've essentially created the outline of a dolphin, and I don't know how to draw a dolphin, but Photoshop kind of made me feel like I could, so it helped me to draw this dolphin and outline it. Now if you look back in your layers palette, notice it did that all on that blank layer that we just created. So at this point I can move it around if I want to. I can even transform it, maybe size it down a little bit. And then the last thing we might want to do is just add some text to it. So nice script font works here. We'll type in dolphin point, and we'll make it a little bit larger. And move it off to the side. We'll move our dolphin right down here, and then if we want to, we could even add a little bit different text here, and we'll say maybe golf, if I could spell today. We'll say golf club, and I'll just change this back to a regular font. Maybe Myriad will work good for this one. And reduce it in size, and then finally maybe change it to another color that contrasts a little bit here, a little bit orange. And we'll just put that one right off to the side here. So essentially what we've done is just show you how you can draw inside Photoshop with the pen tool. So I'm going to give you a little advice to close this up, and that is the pen tool is definitely hard to use. I noticed I misspelled something. Sorry, I'm a perfectionist. I got to get rid of it. Okay. So my advice is the pen tool is definitely hard to use, but if you practice at it, you will get good at it very quickly. I promise you. Take one object a day, like a dolphin, a coffee mug, a face, a person, whatever, and just trace it. I promise you at the end of 2 weeks, you will have gotten so much better with the pen tool, and you'll really be able to draw things inside Photoshop. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks.